welcome to the OBrien Sisters Comedy Show. Now here they are, the OBrien Sisters.
Okay, so welcome to the OBrien Sisters.
I'm Robin.
And I'm Jennifer, and we're the OBrien Sisters. Wow, it's so good to be here.
It is good. Isn't it great? Every week.
Yeah.
Y'all came back. Thanks.
Oh my gosh, you guys came back, all 45 of you. No, I've been just looking at numbers. We average about 45 downloads on
Really?
Lipsync. Yeah.
Hey, that's great.
Is
We're
that-
moving on up.
Is that good?
No.
Because it doesn't feel good. Like, I don't know how it records those numbers.
45 people means that 45 people
You know
need to
what?
go leave us a review
Let's
right
just
now.
talk to those 45.
Okay, we're talking.
First
to
off,
you.
thank you.
Yes.
Okay, like we don't want to act like your number
You're
doesn't
lesser.
count.
You count.
You count.
You're an early adopter.
Yeah, so like we're gonna grandfather you into something big, which I don't know what that is yet.
Yeah.
But when we start our MLM,
You are the
you are
original.
going to be at the top. Okay,
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? We're gonna make sure you get all the perks.
Yeah, get you the Dakota ring or something.
Right. So yeah, I was. It's good to be here.
It's good to be. So people, if you are listening, we'd love it for you to go check out us on iTunes and leave us a review over there. And you can also check us out on Facebook, the OBrien Sisters.
Yes, and please, leave reviews because like that
encourages
it
us.
encourages our soul.
My soul.
Oh yes, and are you gonna just keep singing?
Nope.
Because you love to sing, don't you?
No.
No.
Did you ever talk about that time where like they got us up on stage for church and they made us sing and they're like, oh yeah, the OBrien Sisters, y'all going up there.
Yeah.
And then we started singing and they're like,
cut their mics. They
yeah.
can't sing.
They're like,
they can't sing.
and they're like, just say watermelon, and like, don't actually sing.
You know what we brought to the table?
What was that?
Enthusiasm.
That's very true.
And we're encouragers. We're natural
we are
encouragers.
natural. I am a natural encourager.
Yes. So they put us on the stage at church
To be
and they were like, let's get these sisters who are Christians, up there singing to encourage the congregation. They just
Yes.
didn't realize that we were challenged sometimes when it came to
singing.
Not all the time. We can sing pretty decent, I think.
We can do a melody with each other.
Yeah.
And at the old folks' home, I already
We blow it out at the old folks'
we
home.
do.
I mean,
I'm
man.
always insecure. Like I'm like,
Really?
is this painful? Yes. And remember, I asked that one lady. She had a gray hair like they all do, and really pretty blue eyes. And I was like, oh, we kind of didn't nail it today, did we? She said, oh, sugar, it's beautiful every time. Like she wouldn't let it go.
Oh, that was nice.
She just wouldn't let me take the negative path. So
Yeah. So anyway, what we're saying is that maybe you don't want us to sing for you.
Okay, that's what we're saying.
But maybe we can try to make you laugh. We'll try to bring some.
We're better at that. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
We're better.
I think when this goes red, we got to pull back a little bit on the loudness.
Oh,
but
so that probably when I talk, it'll probably up there. It is.
There it is. So yeah, we're
Very peak.
excited. We're springtime, and we're it's springtime.
It's springtime. So there's a lot of pollen. We're in Atlanta, but it's coming along here, and summer's going to be here before you know it. And what's really great is that it's so nice to see people outside again, and it's so nice to see God's sunshine. I'm from Florida. We're both from Florida.
Yeah,
and it's just so good to see this.
Yeah, it really is. It's always it is so green here in Atlanta.
Yes.
I was driving today. And I live in the Woodstock area, and it's just green everywhere you look. It's just green everywhere. It's just green is like one of those colors that just makes
like
me
my favorite
feel
color.
really good.
Yes,
yeah,
it does.
mine too.
Yeah, and it's like in the summer in Atlanta or spring, it's like first it's like a yellowish green, and then it's a little bit of a darker green, Kelly green, and then it gets into like the dark green.
Yeah,
and then all the leaves are heavy with the weight of summer. It's beautiful.
Oh, it's beautiful. So yeah, where are you going for your summer vacation? Georgia.
That's right. And
what's on your mind? Georgia. And that's our plug for Georgia. Today's show brought to you by Georgia. Yeah. So hopefully we can get some payment out of that.
Yeah, maybe we can get sponsored by.
What's our Venmo? My Venmo account is Jennifer. No,
yeah, we gotta figure that out though. Hey, next show we're gonna give that to you.
Yeah. So we just want to encourage our listeners. Please go leave us a review. Did we already say that?
We already did.
We really need reviews.
We really are begging you. Come on.
We are desperate.
If you want to create fake accounts.
Oh, you know what we really need?
Okay, what do we really need?
We need an invitation to Clubhouse.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So if you're listening,
yes,
please give Robin or I an invitation to Clubhouse because we just want to be cool like that.
Yeah.
Like, come on, we're pretty cool.
Who would not want us? I mean, people, okay, I'm going to be honest with you. Like when we're at a party and Jennifer and I are together, people are like,
they're like,
a crowd starts to kind of gather
around
us because we start playing with each other and doing our characters.
We do a whole thing. I mean, we don't even have to think it through.
Sisters.
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 You see,
like, you don't even know the words to the song. You don't want to know. You don't want us to sing anyways. So
exactly. So anyway, Jennifer O'Brien Comedy at Gmail. Okay, I'm just saying you could send me.
If you're a hacker, though, forget the app part.
Forget that. And then, do you want to say your email, or is that too personal? I mean, we
no,
gotta
that's
get
great. Just shoot them all to Jennifer right
Okay,
now.
just shoot them to me, and then I'll make sure Robin gets on, and then we're gonna make sure we get in all the little conversations, and people will be like, "Why did we invite those two?" But no, please. So anyway, that's the plug for that. Okay.
And so let's stay tuned for more show.
Okay, and we'll be back.
Stick around.
Yeah. Who's the O'Brien sisters will be back in the moment. Stick around.
Hey, I'm Sherry.
And I'm Tina.
And this is Home Shopping Radio.
Oh, y'all, we have got a special doctor's edition.
That's right. Medical March happened, and now we're in a fibrillation April.
Okay. I don't know what that means, y'all, but my head hurts with you saying that. You know what'll help this headache?
What was that, bud?
Diet Coke, light eyes. Yeah.
With a little cube kind. Now, what you need to do is if you like for us to like make some really good deals, you got to make us happy.
Yeah, and you know we like that Zaxby's ice, okay? If you get us some Diet Cokes from Zaxby's, hello.
Hey, Lorna is working the drive-thru today. She's my sister's cousin's next door neighbor, and just tell her it's for us, and she'll hook you up.
She will hook
She
you
knows
up.
who we are.
She's going to throw some chicken fingers in there, too, with that Zaxby's
That's very
sauce.
true. You just say to her, just tell her secret code is Timmy Tom's.
Timmy Tom's Tutu.
Timmy Tom's Tutu.
Okay.
Don't ask.
Don't.
Okay, so first off today, we've got something. We've got the first thing that we're going to have here at HSR, we've got some vaccine cards.
Okay, y'all, just in time for summer. Okay, because, you know, a lot of places are wanting these vaccine cards. So you sometimes... You can't go out and get it. You ain't got time. You don't want to fiddle with it.
Right.
We're going to hook you up.
That's right. So what we have is a copy machine in the back.
Okay.
And what we did is I took my grandmother's vaccine card and we just whited it out. You can barely tell. And then we just write your name in and you just come up. And we printed on like on cardstock. So it's very legit.
We got it at the depot office.
That's right. Now, the Monster Truck Show in June does not require vaccine cards, but the Toby Mac in Macon does.
Okay. So you
for the Lord.
Right. So you just get on these and we'd be happy to take care of you. And guess how much these are going for? These vaccine cards are going for $5.95 a piece.
Wow.
That
is a deal. $5.95 and you don't even have to take the vaccine. No. Now that's a deal.
Y'all call on for this
That's
now.
Right.
That's
very good.
Okay, tell them what else we got.
Okay, then next thing we have up is microchips. That's right. These are
ice chips.
No, microchips. Okay, now these are microchips that they insert under the skin.
Oh, that sounds invasive.
Well, it is, and that they insert it, and it actually will not only detect the COVID.
What?
It will clean the blood.
Stop right now. Hold the phone.
That's
and
right.
I might be
you don't need no Pentecostalism anymore. You got a microchip.
Oh, isn't that sweet? And does it have a GPS tracker on it?
Not officially, but we'll find out later, won't we, folks?
Oh,
so these microchips, they go under the skin and clean it, and it detects the COVID. It's an amazing product. Now, these actually will require you to get an insertion done.
Okay.
We can't do it here at the studio.
No, y'all.
Look,
we did a couple. We
tried.
had ferrets.
Hey,
we had 2 ferrets brought down to the station, and God rest their souls. Our friend Benny, he's going to taxidermy them. We tried.
That's right. So if you go to Benny's taxidermy's office and you see a lump under the skin, those are the ones.
Those are the ones. Fritters and critters.
Fritters and critters.
They were twins. They were so sweet.
They were cloned twins, actually.
Don't get us started.
They were
on
mirrors,
that.
actually. Sometimes they'd stand in front of the mirror and didn't realize they thought it was a piece of glass. But
we've got videos. Just check it out.
Very
on our
adorable.
HSR
you turn on a light switch, they both peed on themselves.
Oh,
so
cute.
These microchips, it actually cleans the blood and detects it, and these are really great. Now, I will say these are irregulars.
Always.
So that's part of the deal at HSR.
Yeah, we work with the irregular.
And so we can't guarantee that they will work. But hey, anyway, so my cousin, she's going to be inserting them on Saturday afternoons after 3:00 and Sundays after church in the Taco Bell parking lot. Y'all just stop on by. Bring your own alcohol wipes.
Bring the family. Bring the family.
Everybody gets chipped. Come on.
Yes,
Go to the Lord, get some chicken, and get chipped.
Oh,
what a Sunday.
Christ, chicken and chips.
That's right.
Oh, that's sweet.
Oh,
yeah.
So the price on those are a little bit more expensive. These are, since it's a newer technology, these are $19.95.
And they may or may not work. We just want to make sure we're letting y'all know that most likely they're not going to work. But they might.
They might work. We might. You'll have a lump under your skin.
You may have a reaction.
Some bruising.
Bring an EpiPen just in case.
Just in case.
Okay. So anyway, we've got one last special for y'all today.
Right. It's PPE.
Y'all, this COVID's going to keep with us for a while. And, sometimes those face shields are just gorgeous because sometimes you want to see that smile, underneath.
Well, I put on my lipstick for a reason, not to be hidden under a ding-dang diaper.
And getting all that acne from those
nails. Oh, it's disgusting.
I'm over it.
So these shields are awesome. Now, these shields, we've made them ourselves.
Yes, we done did.
We went on Pinterest.
We did.
And we found a recipe. And tell them about the plastic that we use.
Well, it's that shrinky-dink.
Shrinky-dinks. We got shrinky-dinks. So shrinky-dinks, it's got thick plastic.
It's thick.
And we put it over
real thick. And y'all, disclaimer.
Okay.
Be careful when you're out in the sun wearing these PPEs because it causes them to shrink. And you may or may not suffocate, but most likely you will. Okay. And once again,
the plastic, if you are in direct sunlight. So I would not take these to the beach.
Don't do it.
Because it will stick to the skin and it's very painful to peel plastic.
Very painful.
Shrinking off of your skin at the beach.
It is.
Then the sand gets in the blood and the wound.
Y'all,
it's not good.
Don't sue
And
us.
don't put them inside your dashboard. Like if you run into the Walmart and you come back in, don't throw on the dashboard because they're shrinking. And then it's just only a nose cover.
Then you might have to give it to a child.
Right.
But then watch the child because if that child's in the sun
and shrink-a-dink.
Y'all, these really are.
But it's a good deal. It's a good deal.
And just make sure you're just paying attention. You're going to need adult supervision.
$2. $2.
Let's slash that.
Slash? No.
Yeah. No. Yeah. $1.
What a deal.
Yeah, we
only have to watch your child nonstop and yourself.
You
what
keep
a deal.
eyes on them. Keep eyes.
Keep eyes.
Y'all, this has been great. Thanks for tuning in to
Ablation April.
Yeah, for HSR Radio. I'm Tina.
And I'm Sherry.
Bye. And we're back. I'm Jennifer.
And I'm Robin.
And we're the O'Brien sisters.
In case you forgot.
Just in case.
And we're carrying mugs today in case you can't see it on our show.
Yeah. So
I got World's Okayest sister.
Oh, who gave you that?
My sister.
I did. And then I've got one that says sister, co-pilot, and BFF.
Who gave you that?
You did.
Aww. That's so great.
Yeah.
I like mine. It has black on the inside, like my heart.
And mine has pink because I'm all soft and pink.
You are soft. You are soft. You're like the nicer one between the two of us.
Oh, that's sweet. So anyway, we just thought we'd share a little bit of one of our childhood memories.
Oh boy, so this is good. This is good.
This one's an interesting one. We had moved out to Texas when our parents had gotten divorced.
Yeah.
We were out there for.
I was 8. You were 6.
When we originally moved out.
Fourth grade, and you were in 2nd grade.
Yeah, I think I was close to 7.
Mm-hmm.
But by the time I know we made it to the Babysitters, I was 8 and you were 10. We always had a weird thing because we're almost 2 years apart. And then I think we stayed there till we were 9 and 11.
Okay.
But what ended up happening was these babysitters were not, imagine they're running their babysitting operation out of an apartment complex. So right off the bat, doesn't that sound shady?
It does. It's not like you drive by a place and there's like a health inspector notice on the door and there's a playground and everything's separate and there's workers.
No, it's in an apartment at an apartment complex.
Yes.
So right off the bat, that was a little odd. And it was a husband and wife, and we're not going to say their names.
We'll call them R&D.
And so Robin and I were actually 2 of the oldest kids that they used to babysit.
And we're pretty responsible kids.
pretty responsible.
I was.
So we would go after school. They would watch us after school. So we get off the bus and go. And what would happen, one thing that I remember is because we were the oldest kids, they would sometimes have too many kids there.
Yes.
So they would employ Robin and I to take some of the kids into the side bedroom. And we would go into a closet with the kids to keep some of them quiet while some other kids were getting picked up. So they didn't know that there were so many kids. So we would play, of course, like games with the kids in the closet. And of course, quiet game was like our favorite.
Yes.
You know, we were just trying to keep them quiet. And they didn't know what was going on.
I never realized how weird that was.
I know. When I say it, listen, I'm working on my story. So I've been writing and typing everything out. I'm like, oh my gosh, like, hello. Anyway, so we would do that. But the thing is, so
they would pay us.
Well, they would reward us with things like Almond Joys, Mounds, cigarettes.
That's what I remember.
Coca-Colas.
I mean, I'm 11 years old and they're like, hey, I'll give you a cigarette if you go keep those kids quiet.
So, and then that's kind of how the whole thing came to a pause. Not only did they do that, they used to, honestly, they would give us, unfortunately, they had adult magazines around and adult movies that we would watch. We were being vetted. We didn't even know.
They were grooming us.
We were like some Different Strokes episode going on, like real life. We had no idea.
Yeah.
Really. I remember one night they were smoking weed and I smoked weed for the first time with them.
Jennifer, really?
Yeah. See, this is the part where she doesn't remember. Yes. And I remember I was 8 years old because I always had it. Now, granted, when you're 8 and you take a puff of weed, you really don't know what you're doing. So I can't say that I got high.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah.
How weird is that?
Yeah. And some other weird things. But for the most part, we're just giving you an idea of this husband and wife that would
How would I feel? Like, you got to think about it. Now that I have kids. Okay. Let me just say something. Once you have children, your mind changes.
Yeah.
Bam. All of a sudden, you are now a mother to all children in the world.
Oh,
except dogs.
Except dogs. Which that's my dog barking. If you can pick it up, I don't know if the microphone.
I don't know if it is not. But anyway,
but it's my fur baby. No, I do not feel that way about him. Trust me.
No, there's no stickers on our car or mine. So the question is that it's just you're a mother to all children once it happens.
Well, yeah.
So now as I've had 8-year-olds.
You start processing it now as I'm older. Right. I've processed so much when I would look at my girls at certain ages and I was thinking, oh my gosh, that's what I was doing at their age, or that's what I was involved in. So yeah, so here we are, young kids. We didn't know. Of course, we weren't telling mom. I mean, these things.
How did it
Here's how we got busted. Okay.
How did it get busted?
So
yeah,
I'm going to have to tell you the side story real quick. Okay. I had a blood brother named Santos. He was a maintenance man at the apartment complex.
Santos. Now I kind of remember Santos. He was nice.
Santos was gay.
He had good hair.
And we would do water ballet in the pool. So the one time I become a blood brother with somebody, this is before the whole AIDS thing was big. Okay. But let me just tell you.
Jenny,
let me just tell you how tortured I was as a child. Most kids are like, now I lay me down to sleep. Like they're dreaming of their futures when they're laying in bed at night. I would dream if I could go back to the future and change that moment because I was always afraid I had AIDS. But I didn't, and it's fine. And I love Santos. So my blood brother, Santos.
I totally forgot
one night, and he was a maintenance man at the apartment complex. Okay, so one night.
Who does blood brothers with older people?
That was the kind of kid I was. He and I connected. We were like, Santos and I were like so connected. I don't know. I think I probably saw it on some like after school special. So I'm sure I suggested it.
Oh, sure.
So one night we must have been rewarded for keeping some kids quiet in a closet. And I remember I got a cigarette that night.
Ooh.
And I decided to take my smoke break on my Schwinn. And I was just riding around the apartment complex at dusk, smoking a cigarette.
How old are you?
At this point, I had to be 9 because I knew by the time it came out to light, we were 9 and 11. Because I remember that when mom went on TV with it.
That's the ending.
Santos saw me smoking a cigarette. I didn't know he saw me, but he told mom. Okay. And then mom, of course we come clean. I mean, once we're confronted, we were like,
my mom was like, she was like, Attila the Hun. You didn't mess with her.
We told her everything. We told her everything that had happened, everything that went on, yada, yada, yada. She ends up going to the state. They shut it down. She goes on the 5 o'clock news. We were mortified that she was on the news.
Because we were embarrassed because we were like, they were our friends.
Right. Okay.
Which is what people do when they groom you.
Do you remember this part? I know. we had another neighbor
Okay.
who had almost the exact same car we had, and their all 4 tires had gotten slashed on their car. They thought they were slashing.
That. Oh my gosh! How do you remember all this stuff?
Because I'm writing my story. When you
Oh
write
my
your story, you
gosh.
think about it. So they slashed their tires, and I remember Mom saying, "Do not say a word." We knew that they meant to slash our tires. The guy that did it used to call our mom and make death threats. Remember that? He would call and make the choking noises. We'd pick up the phone and oh yeah, like they were threatening Mom.
I
Yes.
don't remember this.
Mhm.
See,
Yeah.
this is the beauty of my brain.
You don't remember.
I compartmentalize and I throw it all away. It's gone.
And I remember one
And
day.
you remember every bit of it in
I
vivid
do.
detail. And
I
she
remember
replays
too
it
much.
over and over and over.
It's a gift and a curse, y'all. But I remember.
And you're always like, why are you not damaged? I'm like, what am I have to be damaged about? You're
I
like,
just
don't
think
you
you're-
remember? I'm
I
like,
just think
remember
you're
what?
so damaged, you don't even know. I think as you get more recovered, you'll get there.
I think you just want me to, so you'll feel better that you're so
a little
damaged.
bit, just a little bit. I just want her to feel a little weakness.
Yeah, she does.
No, but I remember the state came to my school and I had to give
A statement.
a
You had to give a statement
of
to the state.
a statement to the state, but you said
That's
they never
well
came to
stated.
your school, and I'm like, well, gosh, I guess I was in a little more deep than you were
Yeah.
with the process. Apparently, I
Yes.
knew more than you.
No, I think more things happen, which we not mention and everything.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't
There's
anything.
there's some more weird stuff that's kind of like strange.
Yeah.
That was inappropriate that an adult
Very.
shouldn't do.
Yeah,
Just
so-
yeah.
So these are the things that
Right.
we just usually we laugh at a lot of stories. I laugh at this one because I always wanted a big brother, and I guess in a way I got it.
Yes, you did.
And if it wasn't for Santos, who would have known? Like maybe we would have been on a really bad Dateline episode. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
the OBrien sisters that disappeared. I
Well,
don't know.
And here's the creepy part. I've learned
Right.
this about once children get groomed when they're younger, like you have to watch them for the rest of their teenage years because the person will come after them again. And then also for some reason, the way their brain works after that, they're so kind of damaged. They're more susceptible to getting groomed again very easily. Sorry, should have not told you that?
No,
Well, sorry.
you know, you just start thinking. I remember like after that, like I just had I was a wild. I mean, I was in
You were.
rehab at 14. Like I was a wild, and who knows, like how much of that just came from
over.
divorce or from crazy. Yeah, I don't know.
But
So-
you know, everybody has a crazy story. Everybody has weird stuff happen. And not everybody has a podcast
Hey,
to broadcast
listen.
how crazy your
Listen,
life was.
if everyone's like, "Oh, are you okay?" Look at me now.
She's
I
so
mean,
well adjusted.
I'm so well adjusted. We've got a podcast with like 45 followers every month that like download this.
Yes.
So you know it's pretty big.
It is big.
But-
No, come on. She's got Jennifer's being very modest right now. We got a lot of pans in the fire, so don't even pretend.
So, but
Anyway,
anyway,
no small change.
aw, you're so sweet. But anyway, I just thought that was one of those stories that
I remember smoking cigarettes and being in the closet and smoking and just
yeah, we went through some stuff. But
We
you
did.
know what? It's funny now because anyway, and we can pick it back up at the end, but it's funny now because instead of like, oh, these bad things happened to us, we used to just say we had this crazy childhood. As I'm really unpacking and learning to tell my story,
yes.
you start to realize that there's a lot of components to it and how it can help you help others. So anyway, it's just been quite an interesting time to super unpack that. I'm glad as I'm unpacking it here with you, it's as if you weren't there the whole time, that you are like, what happened to us? And I'm like giving you like detail by detail. You're like,
I remember parts of it. I mean, I kind of remember. I remember they drove a red car.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, they had a red Fiero.
See, I do not remember that.
Yeah, I do remember that part. And I do remember. Yeah.
I remember the almond joys and the cigarettes.
See, I don't remember the candy part, but you were more of a sweet tooth than me.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Between the
like-
cigarettes and the almond joys
I did
and
the
the
cigarettes
Cokes.
just fine. But yeah, I do remember that.
And
as
I
us
think beer.
watching.
We had beer occasionally.
We did.
They give us alcohol as well.
And pot, obviously. I
Obviously.
mean, good Lord, what were they doing? They were making bank because of us. We were probably even watching the kids.
We
Who
were helping,
knows?
We were running the show.
We're probably like, but here's the thing. We were kind of older. And I remember everyone else our age didn't go to Babysitters, but we did.
We didn't at that point, we should have been babysitting the babysitters. Right. Like, honestly.
Yeah. And it's I do remember kind of being kind of embarrassed because most kids would just go home and be latchkey kids. But mom wanted us to be, she wanted someone to be an adult to be in charge. Little did she know she was paying someone who was like totally corrupting her children.
And I was having a good time. I was just hanging out.
Because we got to watch TV like nonstop while we were there.
Yeah, it was like all the things we didn't get at home.
Right.
Like cigarettes,
candy
and Cokes.
Yeah.
No, it was terrible. We can laugh now because, we've healed from a lot of that. And God, even though we've gone through some hard stuff, God is there. And,
But it does remind you that if you are a kid, a teenager, you should be aware that if adults are giving you that stuff,
cut it off, man. That's
really
crazy.
It's not really normal for adults to want to hang out with you and give you drugs or candy. Or it's weird.
It's weird. I remember being in high school, and I won't mention names, but hanging out with certain friends. Of course, we hung out with some crazy folks, but sometimes going to older people's houses that were like in their 20s, 30s, 40s, and they had beer and drugs and crazy. And it's like, I remember looking at them like, why are they letting us as teenagers hang out at their house? Like, that's so, but you learn about Arrested Development. It's like, I know this person might be 40, but how old are they?
In their mind. Yeah.
In their mind, were they like teen?
Arrested Development, what she's talking about is like the first time you start drinking, like you on your way to alcoholism, that's when you are abusing. That's when you stop growing and maturing mentally. So if you started drinking at 13, even if you're 25, your brain is still at 13 until you start healing.
Which explains a lot for me. I go anywhere between a young child to adolescence to teenage.
Yeah. And that's what makes your comedy great.
It does. It keeps it interesting. But anyway, we just wanted to unpack that. So hopefully do what you need to do with it. But anyway.
And we didn't throw Dad under the bus this time.
No. And we can always say our dad's been in recovery since the early 90s.
And thank God.
And we love our father. And he's a great guy. And we'll have to do a podcast with Dad sometime.
We will.
And just really retell some stories. Our dad's a great guy.
He is. He's funny. He's just a big kid. He loves us, and he plays video games, and he would take us go-karting and Walt Disney World.
Disney Dad.
He was having more fun than we were sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, we've got couple more sketches, and then we'll come and close the show.
Okay, bye.
And we'll be back.
This summer, remember the Seattle Portland protest with your own commemorative coin.
That's right. This beautiful coin has two sides. On one side, we have the Capitol Hill Autonomous Zone set in the Capitol Hill neighborhood of Seattle, Washington.
And flip it over and see the shining gold flames of a Chaz Molotov cocktail.
You'll be the life of the party with this coin.
Try to remember all the times you got to stay out late at night when your mom dropped you off at the protests.
That's right. Remember when you would run out of things to burn and you would just take your mask off and burn that.
And nobody even cared or took a picture because that was your right to freedom. You don't own anything, but that's okay. You can still light the town on fire. And if you call now, you can get a 2020 silver commemorative coin showing how you also participated in those riots when you lit a federal building on fire with people inside. Oh, the memories.
And while supplies last, we have the 2021 Seattle Portland Protest Gauge for your ears.
And call now, and we have a 2-ounce vial of patchouli.
Be the talk of your friends and family with your 2021 Seattle Portland Protest Coin.
100% all gold.
Call now. Operators are standing by.
I'm Charlie Cheeks.
And I'm Fanny.
And we're the Butts County Puppet Players with your weekly PSA.
That's right, kids. If you get invited to a Chaz area protest and they want you to light the Molotov cocktail on fire, make sure you let it go.
Yeah, our friend Perry Patchouli, well, let's just say he didn't realize he was supposed to let it go.
Yeah, he was just holding it and the other guy lit it.
Yeah, he thought he was like at a rock concert or something.
That's right. Oh, well. Poor
Well,
rest in pieces, Perry Patchouli.
maybe next time you'll think about making some better life choices. Bye!
And welcome back. I'm Robin.
And I'm Jennifer.
And we're the O'Brien sisters. If you haven't figured it out by now.
Yeah, you know, we just like to continue to say our
We
names.
like to say our name again. It's actually kind of nice. The O'Brien sisters.
Yeah.
We say things in unison. Actually,
know.
we've talked about this before, is our voices are very similar.
That's
And
right.
I broke up with a boy. You broke up with a boy from me in high school with Chris.
Yes.
That was kind of cool.
Yeah, I like to imitate my sister's voice.
Mhm.
I like to imitate lots of voices in high school.
You were good.
was
Jennifer was
good.
good. Like when we were kids, like she was like 8 years old and she was working on her characters.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Jennifer, like you full on, like you work really hard at your comedy.
I do work hard at comedy. What else am I going to work hard at?
Processing all your broken dreams and memories.
Yeah. You know, you got to give yourself something fun to do every now and then. All right.
And that's where you come in.
Yeah. So anyway, we always like to close the show with a scripture. And today we're going to read from 2 Timothy chapter 3. And have we done this one before? I feel like we've done this one before.
I think it needs to be said again. It's the Bible. God's word is true and it's living and active.
Okay. So mark this. There will be a terrible times in the last days. People will be lovers of themselves, lovers of money, boastful, proud, abusive, disobedient to their parents, ungrateful, unholy, without love, unforgiving, slanderous, without self-control, brutal, not lovers of good, treacherous, rash, conceited, lovers of pleasure rather than lovers of God, having a form of godliness but denying its power. Have nothing to do with such people.
Ooh.
Anyway, it kind of goes on to say that they're always learning but never able to teach. And it says, but they will not get very far because in this case, that their folly will be clear to everybody. But anyway, it's kind of.
That's what we live in today. I think people are very ungrateful. And I think people are very also unforgiving. I think there's a big lack of mercy.
Right.
Like these days in our world, you say something when you're 13 or 14 or 15, and it comes back to haunt you in 10 years. And they will track that down. But, you know, it doesn't always go both sides, but I see that a lot. It's like, you know, give people a break.
Well,
you gotta have a little bit of like grace because we are not perfect all the time.
There is a truth because it's like, if we all could be honest and real about what we've done, what we've said, we've all done and said things that we feel bad about or things that we've, you know, are ashamed of. And it kind of goes back to that story where Jesus, you know, the woman's caught in the adulterous act.
Right. And
they bring her and then he says, you know, the one who is without sin can cast the first stone, starting with the eldest or the older, you know, of the men to the youngest. They all drop their stones. Basically, nobody is without sin.
Right.
And I just think we're in such a time that everybody is so quick
to judge.
Like,
what's your opinion now?
Yeah.
Like, something just happened in the media. I got to go give you my opinion because,
And to me, it's
so that I can spank you with my opinion.
Yeah. To me, it undoes what Jesus clearly displayed in that with the adulterous woman, that he asked her at the end, does anybody condemn you? And she said, no. And he says, then neither do I. And then he calls her to repent and leave her life of sin. But that is what Christ displays. And as his followers, that's how we're supposed to show grace and mercy. And, you know, I think that I do see, and I'm not trying to knock anybody, but I think it needs to start with the believers and the followers of Christ by setting that example of grace and mercy. And that's why I'm pretty much off social media most of the time.
That's really great for you.
Because I don't know if I could.
I know. I feel more condemning sometimes. I read that and I'm like, oh, I don't want to hang out with that person anymore after what they wrote. And I'm like, that's not being like Jesus, Robin.
Yeah.
That's hard.
Yeah, that's tough. And I tell you, if we're not in the last times, if this doesn't describe,
we're in the last times. Make no mistake.
This
is like the worst. Before COVID, I literally said to God, I was like, God, the way this world's going, I don't see how you are in it. Like, I'm not going to be disrespectful. I've talked about this before. is that I all the end time things, like I don't see how it could happen now. Like people taking the mark of the beast, like people doing all these crazy things. I mean, I don't really see it. Now I'm like, oh, that's how it could happen. Forcing everyone to use one form of payment and not to be whatever, but.
Well, we read the Word of God.
Right.
And we do have to have discernment, and we do need to question some of these things that are being kind of forced upon us. And not only do we need to understand the Word of God, we need to be passing it on to the next generation.
Yes.
So it's not like, oh, well, this is for convenient purposes or whatever. You should question why these things are being asked of us, and is it good, and is your conscience bothered by it? And the way I kind of move through COVID right now is, there's certain people that think this is okay, and certain people that don't think it's okay. And I have to just believe that we all have discernment, and I can't judge that person because they operate different with the virus than I do. And no more than that, I would want them judging me and how I'm operating through this pandemic.
Good point.
I just kind of have to trust that the Holy Spirit works in all of us, and we're all at different places. And I think, the Bible says that the believers had everything in common when it talked about in the, Acts 2:42.
Right.
And it's not that we all have everything in common when it comes to every political or social or economic thing. It's that when Christ is the center, we can learn to get along with just about anything.
Yeah. And our identity is in Christ. It's not whatever social justice banner is being picked on today.
Yeah.
First, we're followers of Jesus. And when we get to heaven, we're all the same. Like we're all beings, and we'll all be beings of light, and it will be an amazing place. It's not going to be like having all these genders and colors, and
but even if it is, I think it's beautiful.
Well, yeah, but it's not that's not this. Our identity is first of all in Christ.
Sure, I get what you're saying.
That's
Absolutely.
what I mean.
Absolutely. But I think, man,
love will be our identity.
That's right. So absolutely. So anyway, I don't know. I read this.
Lovers of themselves.
Yeah.
Instagram.
Lovers of money, boastful,
Lovers of
proud,
money.
abusive. It's, you know what? I can be convicted reading this just too. Like sometimes I can't be like, oh, that's all those people out there and da-da-da. It's like,
no,
sometimes
I like
you
being
gotta
like
check
that.
your heart. What'd you say?
I like being like that.
Yeah.
I feel superior.
But
I'm smug.
Isn't that how most people are though? It's so easy
on
it's social
so
media
easy.
to throw the other person under the bus.
Absolutely. That's why you got to be. And here's the thing. That's why you got to always come with a open mind and an open spirit, and come at people with questions. But if you come at them with just your opinion, shut them down.
Well, what is the saying? People want to know how much you love them. And one thing, people always will remember how you made them feel.
Right.
Versus what you say or said.
Okay. Did I tell you about what this book I'm listening to about heaven? When people review their life story, guess what they review?
What?
It's not through the eyes of you looking at how you were, what happened.
Uh-huh.
In this book, it mentioned several times, you observe yourself outside of yourself, and you feel how you made the other people feel. So how you make other people feel, God considers that really important.
And that's kind of with politics too. I know a lot of people, and we're not going to get involved in politics, but a lot of times people only know how that political leader makes them feel.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't matter what their policies are. It doesn't matter what they've done, good, bad, or what. They're only going to remember how that person made them feel. Mm-hmm. And we're feelings people. And as much as people want to say, that's wrong. It's like, well, whether you like it or not, people make decisions based on their feelings. That's just how it is. So that's interesting. I'd love to hear more about this book. But anyway, we just like to wrap it up with a little something. And
this has been great.
Yeah, this is fun.
We've gone down some dark alleys.
Well, we have. We
and some sunny beaches.
We felt like we talked about our Different Strokes episode today. That was what was that Different Strokes epised with?
Oh my goodness!
Remember that one?
What did something?
They were taking Polaroids. It was a little. Why can't I remember?
Gosh,
why can't I remember names? What was what you talking about, Willis?
Gary Coleman.
And
then Willis obviously is with his brother. And they were, was it the Silverton family or something?
I don't know. But remember they were being vetted and that they were taking Polaroid shots. He was running around in his undies. It was a weird episode.
Oh, well, gosh. Yeah.
You know, you think that would have helped us like cue in like,
hey, maybe we shouldn't be careful with these older people trying to be nice to us.
We didn't know. But, you know, God protected us even in our crazy. God's always there.
Yeah.
But all right.
Okay.
Well, this has been a lot of fun, and we hope you enjoyed the show today.
So thanks for listening to the O'Brien Sisters. I'm Robin.
And I'm Jennifer.
Thanks for listening.
Yes. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.